Hey guys, it's Bree. I just finished An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. We're working around my cats as usual, so you might hear them in the background. I'm gonna try to time myself so that they are not at their loudest, but I can't guarantee that everything will be quiet on their front. So recently I finished An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon, and this is a really interesting story. It takes place on a generation ship, which is, of course, a ship that is meant to last for a long haul, multiple hundred years across space. It has the self-contained environment. It's supposed to be able to manage large populations and be essentially a closed system. Same air, same water, same food for the entire journey. The ship's levels are alphabetized. They start at A and go all the way down to Z. And the farther down you go in the ship, the less social power you have, the fewer resources you have, until the point where people are basically slaves. Astrid lives on Q deck. She is our main character. And she's very smart, very spunky, and sees things in a very straightforward manner. Astrid is a little odd. She doesn't do well with people. She was nonverbal until she was an older child, about like 5. Astrid was raised on Q deck by a kind of aunt figure of hers who takes care of most of the people on the deck. Despite the fact that Astrid has basically no resources at her disposal, because she is so smart, she has caught the eye of the ship's surgeon, who's basically like the head medical guy in charge. He has a lot of power on the ship, and people really depend on him and respect him. Over time, Astrid becomes his assistant and a very dear friend. So she has the ability to see all sides of the ship, both the very, very wealthy and the very, very poor. This book was a really slow burn, but I really liked it at the end. Astrid's character is filled with a lot of potential for growth. She's engaging, she's extremely intelligent, and is constantly balancing the worries that she has about the social structure, about getting in trouble, about managing the people around her who she actually likes, and there are very few of those people. And her desire to kind of go out and do the unconventional thing, which is to help people. She gets into a lot of trouble with the guards around her because she doesn't really put up with a lot of the terrorizing things that they've done, and they do horrible things. There is sexual assault and abuse and just really some horrible things going on the ship. A lot of the book echoes the social divide between plantation owners and their slaves during the pre-Civil War era in the United States. That same power dynamic is very much in effect. Astrid is very clear when she talks about this, when she's seeing injustice going wrong. She's very analytical, and getting her perspective and insight on the situation helps us as a reader navigate through those social structures. And I think River Solomon does a fantastic job at making those feel genuine. There's a very slow lead up to some really interesting things that happen. Astrid herself is kind of a reluctant hero, and so she toes the line at doing anything too revolutionary for a very long time. But of course, in a speculative fiction story, particularly one that is engaging with the idea of race and social class, you know things are going to get upset. The status quo is not going to stick around for terribly long. And Astrid has the potential to bring down the world around her, to really restart things as they ought to be. I thought the world building in this was very interesting. It was really neat to see the way that this social structure was built. I think there was a lot of time and energy spent in really engaging with social structures, with the kind of norms that would go on in the society, with how the economics would play out. All of those aspects of the world building are really interesting and engaging. The ship itself has some really interesting kind of fantastical parts. Part of what they deal with is that there's a potential for radiation, of course. There's a potential for food shortages, and the nuclear reactor that's powering the ship is maybe going awry. Those technical aspects were fun and engaging, perhaps not quite as detailed as something like a Kim Stanley Robinson, but we can't hold everyone to that standard, particularly because I think the social and character development in this book is really, really worth picking up. If you've read An Unkindness of Ghosts, go ahead and let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. I really loved Astrid, and I would like to get your perspective on her. For more reviews of books that will challenge the way you think about class, go ahead and click the link up above. I'll have a playlist ready for you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic reading week. You know the drill. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.